neglected to mention that the question that we ask the speakers to riff on, which Jeff did, is a very simple one. And that is, how are concepts of social justice relevant to the position you are seeking? So it gives the candidates an opportunity to speak from the heart as to how that influenced them. So Jeff, thank you for doing that. Our second speaker, as I mentioned, is running against Karen Reddington Hughes in the 66th district, which is comprised of Litchfield, Woodbury, and is a little bit of Bethlehem, Warren, Morris, and Bethlehem. So it's not specifically Southbury, but because there are people in our group who are within that territory, and because we want to be as expansive and inclusive as possible. This is an opportunity. I always think I admire everybody who runs for public office. Anyone who takes the time and exposes themselves to the pros and cons, and there are plenty of both, to run for public office, I applaud that, and I applaud the courage to do that, and that's what we need. Democracy requires not only voters but candidates. So I'm really pleased that people are running, and I'm really pleased to introduce the candidate as a Democrat, the candidate for the 66th district of the Connecticut State House of Representatives, Matt Dyer.
I can't avoid a camera. So, thank you very much for the invite again. Every time I'm invited to this, it's better than the last time, and I appreciate very much your consistency with 125 consecutive weeks. Holy cow! I don't know. That kind of perseverance is not something that's regular in this day and age, and it's great to see that right here in our little corner, that's what we get. In fact, we're now getting signs put up that we can't be here because they're so irritated with the perseverance. So thank you so much for being here and for inviting me. As far as the question that's been asked about why and what I think social justice has to do with what I'm running for, I go back to a phrase that we probably all know, which is indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The words are there. For all. The last two words. And we sort of have spent the last 250 years trying to find ways to say that for all means really not for all. It means all but you, all but you, all but you. We spent time with the 3/5 compromise in the Constitution trying to say all but you, We had it so that it had to be a property owner, male, not female, that sort of thing. And we have spent now 250 years fighting for the idea that justice for all actually means justice for all. It doesn't mean justice for most. It's not like Orwell, where all men are created equal, but some are created more equal than others. That doesn't fly. And we continue now 125 weeks to persevere on the idea that justice for all is exactly what it sounds like. It's justice for all. What I'm running for office for is because justice for all is exactly what it sounds like. Affordable housing is justice. If people are out in the cold, that's not just. And that means the system isn't working. There's nothing that necessarily separates the people who are in houses from the people who are out. The people who can afford it and the people who can't. That's the thing that we're fighting for here. So that's what legislation's all about. That's what we should be doing in Hartford. That's what all of the things in Washington, D.C. to our locals should be working towards, is justice for all. It's to make sure that everybody has the same access, or at least the same equitable access, to every bit of the luxuries that we've created over the last 250 years. It certainly shouldn't be just that, I as an attorney have found my luxurious lifestyle because I went to law school and everybody else be damned. That's not the way that it works. Justice for all. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm running for. That's why I'm here. That's why I think you all are here, and I can't compliment you all enough. Just one final piece. Stephanie Thomas running for Secretary of State, and I'm going to give her kudos for this because I'm not claiming this as my own, but she has said that democracy is essentially not a spectator sport. It's a participatory sport, and it's not something where it's good enough necessarily once a year or once every other year or once every 4 years or whatever time frame we decide to go pull a lever, write our little bubble in, and give ourselves a thumb up, put our sticker on, and be ready to go home. That's not good enough. Voting is key. Don't get me wrong. It's absolutely essential to what we're doing. But the other 364 days a year matter to what we're doing. What you guys are doing is showing that it matters. We all need to be part of this. We all need to be in the halls of power. There shouldn't be some big separation between us and them. We are them. We are the government, of the people, by the people, and for the people. And thank you for reminding all of us of that, and thank you for giving me a platform to help remind other people of that too.